Hey there kissable misters, it's me, Safari Sam, and today we're starting an all new build. That's right, we haven't got our mystery animals for the aquarium yet, and we're already starting something new. That's because this really wasn't expected. This is kind of out of the blue. There's a certain place that maintains a very special forest, and there's a certain critter in that forest that they don't want there. It's considered a pest animal, and they also say it's not native. So this forest, which will go unnamed, this special, very perfectly cared for forest that I visit weekly, said that they had to rehome some caterpillars. And you know me, I'm doing live animal videos now, getting back to my roots of animal keeping, like I used to do back in the day, as I heard the kids say it. I straight up have no wiggity whack idea what slang is like now, G. Anyhow, it's a very, very cool critter called the orange-striped oakworm. And despite the name worm, it is in fact a caterpillar. And a beautiful one, which you'll see at some point in the future. Who knows when? I sure don't. So, these little caterpillars really like to eat oak trees. Here in Georgia, they're considered a pest because they really like to destroy oak leaves, but in all honesty, they're eating oak leaves at the end of the summer, and a lot of trees are going to shed their leaves anyway, but also they usually don't eat so much from a tree that it will harm it substantially or permanently in any way. And so we don't want to punish these creatures, we don't want to kill them, and neither does the forest. They want to rehome them to a place where they can live happily, which is what they always do, but they have agreed to give me some of the caterpillars. Why is that fucking light flickering? That's concerning, right? That's actually concerning. Anyhow, we're going to make a tank for them today. This terrarium here is a nice 20-gallon I've had forever. Raised lizards in it, all kinds of stuff. Just did a little cleaning on it. It's been in storage for, God, over a decade. This puppy is all faithful, and it's the only enclosure whose lid I haven't lost. Couldn't use it for the aquarium because, one, I wanted a topless aquarium, and two, that little puppy down there would have to be sealed. That's a place where you can run cords out for reptile stuff, which I'm not going to do because heating rocks are for Satanists. Anyhow, let's get started. First things first, we need some substrate. This dusty reptibark should do well. This isn't really something I'd want to use for a reptile now, because I'd want something a bit more bioactive, but these guys are going to turn into moths relatively quick. We're just keeping them to fatten them up so that they can transform and lay their eggs. So this reptibark will do just fine. Now, the most notable thing about this bark is that it's somehow dustier on the inside than it was on the outside. God, I'm going to be smelling that for years. So let's spread this bark out. They do like to bury their eggs if they can. Well, they like to bury themselves after they hatch as well. For fuck's sake. Oh my God. And this will be good for that. Just a nice little bit of prickly little substrate for my newest babies. Next up, we're going to take this water dish and we're going to just stick it right kind of in, I guess, this corner. But we're going to dig a hole for it so that it's kind of level a bit more with the bark. Let's get the bark out of it. Oh my God, that light's going to drive me crazy. I need to change a bulb or something. So there's the bowl in our substrate, and I just pulled the biggest splinter out of my hand. I didn't even know it was there. Definitely from our reptibark. Now I just want to say, other than the reptibark and food bowl that are already in here, everything else going in here is native to the area that we found these worms in, and we know that they can survive on it. Like this big old rock, it's got a bunch of quartz in it, And also a lot of mica in this area. You can see it kind of flashing there. We're going to put it in the corner. Probably just, I kind of want to angle it, but I don't want too much going on there. Let's put another big guy right behind it. This one's got like some moss and shit on it. Oh yeah, that works. And then this other big stone and go kind of right there. And we'll just take a couple real dirty quartz pieces and yeah, that's nice. That's real nice, mate. Very cool. So now that our rocks are said and done, let's add a little bit of wood. I'd like to add some wood to a rod, if you know what I'm saying, Jerry. If you cut that clip out, I'll quit. We've got this big ass piece of mossy wood here. You'll notice it's soaking wet because we rinsed it off in our purified well water from our aquifer, but also it has been storming a lot. See some little burrows. And it's very possible that some other little creatures will rear their little faces in this tank, crawling out of the wood. But yes, I think that will be sufficient for them to climb on for now. I will add more as it goes on, but this is just a climb on. There will be non-climbing things, very much so, but I think our wood looks good, which is something my urologist has never said to me. It is moss side down, which is the prettiest side, but also that's kind of the side that holds it up the best. So that is what I am doing. There were a few bits of bark that fell off the wood, so we're just going to kind of sprinkle them about. Speaking of sprinkling, leaves. We're going to sprinkle leaves. We got all this detritus here. Some mapley looking things. I don't know. That's probably wrong. But we're going to lay them lightly throughout, pointing different directions, trying to kind of make it look like they maybe fell a little naturally, but not too naturally, you know. Just get some under and over. And I tried to get multiple trees, but didn't really venture too deep into the woods. You know, their favorites are oak leaves, which I'll get more of. I'll try to get some greener oak leaves as well as some browner ones. I think that will help them, because oak leaves are their favorites. They are called oakworms after all. But that looks like a good amount of detritus to me. As you can see, we got all leaves throughout, and they will very much enjoy munching on those, laying their eggs in them, crawling under them, etc. We got rocks they can sit on, and a little something to sip from if they need to. And I'll probably mist it a little as well. They've been thriving in the dampness. And I'm not too worried about moisture getting trapped, because the screen lid is going to keep a lot of that moisture evaporating out of the enclosure. I do concede that they need more to climb on. I will hop on that immediately. Absolutely I will. There's also another thing that I want to do real quick. These are microfossils. They're so small, you can't even really tell they're fossils unless you get them under a microscope. We have a huge box full of these and haven't known what to do with them. And we've decided to make it a tradition on this channel, if it's good for the animal, to christen enclosures with these. They're limestone. This limestone is from Florida riverbeds, and they're the same rivers that also run into Georgia. Yes, so this material can be found in Georgia, specifically South Georgia is where its best approximation would be for Georgia. And these ones are Georgian. So we're going to take this and just kind of christen the enclosure, and this gravel also will look kind of natural in there, like little rocks. And that's just a piece of ancient animal and plant history that we can just sprinkle throughout, and it's really symbolic of just how far animals have come and how far we have come as a species. And I want to start doing that in all our enclosures that can handle limestone. If a critter can't really deal with limestone, then it's not going in there. But I think it looks pretty good. You can kind of see the microfossils sitting on our branch here. You can really see them on that leaf. They kind of just bring a more natural lived-in look to it, as well as taking a piece of ancient prehistory and adding it to our terrarium. We've also been using this little branch to pick off leaves to use as detritus for our beautiful aquarium. Worked really well for our baby triops, who sadly did not survive their move into a larger tank. I fumbled their hatchery and accidentally dropped them all in, and I guess they didn't acclimate correctly or they were too shaken up or something. But it has worked great for our shrimp, which might have started breeding, and I'm gonna have a little news about that at the end of this video, which is insane news that you won't believe. If you've been following our aquarium build, it's really news you won't believe. But I think I'm just going to take this whole thing, shake it about. I saw one leaf go on the floor. Some fell off in there, and then I think I'm just going to maybe kind of prop it up just like that. So that's a little something more for them to nibble on, for them to climb on. I hope that they will like it. So right now we've got that, and also you can see some of those little leaves like fell into the enclosure, got all over the place. I lost track of the one I was trying to film. There it is, right there. They fell through, so it kind of looks like that branch actually did fall from a tree, and it kind of got the litter everywhere. That really works. We've got the rocks, the food dish, which we're going to put water in, but there's not really a point right now. And remember, the water is purified by nature from our own aquifer. And we have all this detritus, a log for them to climb on and make their little cocoons on, and then they're going to bloom into beautiful orange mobs. And we will be adding those puppies to our enclosure next time. That's right, I'm making you wait, bitch. It's called 2 views for the price of 1. But the next video will be adding them, and then a bunch of cool facts about them, so that you can learn about these wonderful new critters. That will be the very next episode of Safari Sam, which we are shooting tomorrow. And it'll be out very soon. So that's it. Thank you once again. I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.